Today we're going to rust remove and paint a running board and get it back into prime shape. Here's the situation. We've got this flaking coating that's been popping off for a year on a running board. The running board is pretty solid. It's just this coating is just giving up. And below it is just rust. Yes, thank you, Weston. You gotta clean this rust up, treat it, and then coat it with some black paint to bring back this running board. The black coating is pretty much off all the way down on both sides. The one thing I did notice, under the seal there's salt, dirt, all sorts of little things. So I'm going to use this portable shop vac to suck that all up all the way down on both sides before I start applying the rust dissolving agent. Can't really show you this when the vacuum's on, it's too darn loud. So I'm just putting the scraper underneath, prying this up, running the shop vac hose, and just sucking out all the dirt and grime that might be underneath. The next step is to put on some rust dissolver. We're going to try Loctite and Rust-Oleum. We've got 2 chip brushes and 2 pour-off containers. I'm using gloves. You want to do this definitely outside. On the driver's side, we're going to use Rust-Oleum, and on the passenger side, we're going to use Loctite Navy Jelly. The Loctite has a working time of 5 to 10 minutes, and the Rust-Oleum has a working time of 15 to 20 minutes. So that's why I'm going to start with this side, Rust-Oleum, then we're going to do the Loctite side, and then we're going to rinse down. And you just want to pour off a little bit at a time. You can always add more. Once you've put the chip brush in there, you really don't want to cross-contaminate the product where you might have to throw it away. And for both products, you just want to put a little on the brush. I'm going to try to avoid hitting this and just focus on the rusted area. And there's area below. And then start the timer, because if you keep it on there too long, it can be a problem. It will solidify. I have a paper towel, and I'm wiping off the excess if it happens to get on rubber plastic top. It took me 10 minutes to do the whole length of this running board on one side. And I hit it with a couple of coats, both here and on the bottom, to make sure all the metal was covered. The Loctite is pink. It almost reminds me of Pepto-Bismol when I was a kid. I hated that stuff. Same amount of time, about 10 minutes. Put it on. It's supposed to also dissolve paint, so I'll see how it does on that. Wait a little bit and then we'll rinse it off. Now it's time for the rinse on both sides. I'm using the jet setting. Try not to spray anything up on the paint, obviously. Then I'm going to go hit the top of the car so I don't get that bad. Rinse both sides and then let it dry really good. I'm going to let it dry overnight. Both of these rust dissolvers were a total waste of time and money. Maybe the rust was too much for them. All they did is raise the rust and expose the rust, made it really powdery. I guess I could have gone through and did another round, but it just wasn't worth my time. What I did instead is took an angle grinder with a 120 grit reel, polished that off, and got pretty much all the rust off down to the bare metal. Now, with a chip brush, 1 inch, I'm going to use this Rust-Oleum protective enamel, flat black. It's a nice day, dry, around 70 some odd degrees, so almost perfect weather for painting. Here's the final result. I'm really happy. It's an enamel, so it should do well. The rust dissolvers did not work whatsoever, neither one of them. I had to go with grinding. I'll post all the materials I used down below. You could hand sand it depending on how bad your situation is. Mine was pretty bad. Upstate New York weather. But now that I've got this painted and I cleaned up the bumper, it looks almost brand new. Thumbs up and comments are always appreciated. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in all sorts of car repairs, home repairs, making and breaking things, designs of all kinds, food recipes, I do costumes, cosplay, and props. check out my channel and please subscribe, because you never know what solution you're gonna see. This is so much better than with all the rest at the beginning.